Hey everyone, and welcome to the D&D Vlogs episode. I'm pretty sure this one's now 10, finally. Maybe, I'm not 100% sure. But again, lots of notes to go over. This is more of a fun session than, a plot session. And, I got some stuff that I'd like to talk about. Let's get through everything, and then we'll hash out the details. So, at the end of the last episode, we escaped the vault with, the Goliath dude, Goliath Guardian, whatever you want to call him, Tarkov. And basically, I'd said, in our group chat, hey, I'd like to try and find Josiah, see if she knows about anything. See if she remembers anyone else entering the vault. Because, obviously we're looking for, any clues as to, hey, where are these, weapons at that we could potentially use to protect the universe, from the Black King. We talked to her, and she's under a strict oath where she cannot say, who went into the vault. We believe, Lucius, our NPC character, we believe his grandfather, the king of Asteria, I believe is the country's name, was the one who would have gone into the vault, based on timing and connection to Josiah and a few other things. Like, she dropped some hints, but she couldn't outright say, oh, it's this guy. So we think, we made her leave. Josiah, being kind, made a path of flowers for us, and David, Goku, being true to his character, was, very nice and respectful, like bowing, thank you for your assistance, and, thank you for providing us the flowers. And also, whenever we got to, the edge of the forest and back to our horses, she provided a feed. Again, David thanked her. So, that was a nice touch, David. Good role playing. As we're about to, hop on our horses or, whatever animals we're riding, we notice a mysterious stranger is watching us. It's Garrus. He hasn't come up in a while, but basically he's a former Emerald Vanguard member who is essentially, a puppet of the Horseman Death. He's come up. He's kind of like, a recurring mini boss. I can't think of any specific good examples from my stuff, but recurring mini boss dude. Basically, he doesn't seem hostile this time around. He just wanted to deliver a message to us. Basically, the Horsemen are angry and their time grows closer. This was apparently one of the brief moments, he had control of himself. And, he also apologized to Elle, because of the betrayal, or... Okay, I'm not clear on what the apology was for specifically, but he did apologize to Elle. Meanwhile, anyway, we continued our journey. We had to stop for the night before we reached Asteria once more. And, at the very least, Toby and Goku had this dream. I'm not sure if everyone did throughout the night. But basically, they were floating over a source of water, facing down towards it. And they were grabbed by something, and then they woke up. I'm not sure what that is foreshadowing exactly, if it's foreshadowing anything. But Connor, brought it up specifically. So it's got to be something. I don't know what it is or could be. Obviously dreams, are meant to be interpreted, yada yada. I'm not that good at it. Anyway, moving forward, in the morning or late in the night or something, a black cat approaches our camp. It's odd, seeming to almost pop in and out of existence, and it beckons us to follow it. We do follow it to find a body. Apparently a recently slain, wizard, unfortunately. And we find out that the black cat was ultimately, the wizard's familiar. And, Connor, being nice, let Toby and Goku work together to strengthen his revivify magic, which basically, lets us resurrect a person who's died within the last minute to, within the last hour. Yeah. But, we were able to revive the guy, You know, Toby provides them meat and water. Uh, and really quick, you know, for me that makes sense. Based on based on logic I've gotten from the Wheel of Time series. Basically, you know, it's another fantasy series where where when a magic user heals you, you know, it does take some part of your energy, your essence, whatever, to do that. So yeah, you're gonna be tired and hungry afterwards. So like, that was legit, and also it was just a nice thing for Toby to do. Also, Toby had his own reasons for doing that. Basically because the dude is an elven wizard. Yeah, and and one of the funny points is everybody's just talking Elvish, and everybody can speak Elvish or at least knows it. Meanwhile, me, Burgle, the gnome, is just looking up at everybody confused, like, what, huh, what? So, like, just imagine, whenever, like, a small kid is, near a group of adults and they're talking about something, like, adult stuff or anime or whatever, and the little kid's just like, huh? What? I don't get it. But it sounds cool. Holy crap. But yeah, so anyway, Toby successfully flirts with the elf guy. They seem to be getting on pretty well. And he told us about how he was set upon by bandits and killed. And for our kindness, he gave our group a scroll of fireball. Basically, a one-time use item where we can cast 3rd level fireball. I forget. I gotta look into it. But anyway, the dude's name is Telesmere. I hope I spelled it right. He spelled it out for Brett, and he wrote it down. I tried to write it down, but yeah. Oh, and really quick, also for reference, this guy is a drow or a dark elf. I'm trying to remember all my dark elf stuff from D&D specifically. Like, I know a bit from Warcraft, but basically they're like elves, but they favor the night. They've lived underground, I believe. Like, they're not the normal elves that we think of, like Legolas from Lord of the Rings. Are high elves. And this guy's just a dark elf, a drow. And Connor and Brett, if I got anything wrong with that, feel free to comment below. You guys do regularly seem to pay attention, and I appreciate that. And any clarification, always appreciated. But Oh, and apparently Telesmere was looking for the Well of Many Worlds. Connor didn't really define that for us, but to be fair, we didn't really ask him, hey, what is that supposed to be? So, yeah. And also, I forgot to establish the cat's name. The cat's name is Archimedes. Like, I'm literally going through my notes, and I got, like, these things just in there. But, yeah, so Toby, Goku, and I, went to find this bandit camp and sort them out because, yeah, killing people and being evil, not very great. And Toby's great plan here is to walk up to the bandits and cast, oh god, was it compel person or enchant person or something? I forget. I'll put it below. But anyways, basically he casts the spell on the person, charm person. That's it, charm person. And basically, he gets the bandit captain to turn on his friends, with a little white lie of, oh, hey, that dude stole from your back pocket, and yeah. And basically we slaughtered them very quickly. And one of Goku's new attributes, customs, whatever, is to cut off the heads of his enemies and claim them as trophies. He's a paladin, and that's one of his things. Yeah, it sounds more like a predator thing, like the alien dudes, who hunt people and all that stuff. But yeah, let's see, Goku and Toby, searched the camp, and we joked a bit about like, oh hey, wouldn't it be funny if like, there were in someone's belongings we found a little note from their kid like, oh hey, have fun reading, and stealing from people and yada yada, and or like how somebody might retire. But, you know, like Connor told us about in another campaign, how another party had slain a group of goblins who were trying to form peace with a human settlement. So it's like, that's oof. But, and then really quick, just a quick breakdown of some of the stuff that we got. We found 5,800 copper, 360 silver, 120 gold. All the stuff is meant to be split 6 ways. And, you know, our party of 5 people and the wizard also. Telesmere. Also, a few magical items. We got a potion of healing, a potion of hill giant strength, a scroll of detect good and evil. Yeah. And then... right. I did mention the charm person thing. Also, Brett did manage to use charm person on my character for his own personal reasons. You know, I'm not going to get into it here because, yeah. You know, it was just a bit of fun, and he also tried to do it to David, but, yeah, David actually rolled well enough. I think the DC check was 14, I rolled 13. Cool, and then here's the final bit. Basically, you know, toward the end of the game, you know, David was still looking to do some fighting, you know, because, he just wanted to do some more fighting in combat. And I get that. So, I forget who suggested it. It was either Brett or David, basically. But hey, you know, like, how about, you know, we have our own, you know, little fight between the two of us. You know, a little bit of a sparring thing. And, you know, they did, and obviously we set the rules of, you know, like, hey, like, things are going to go okay, you know, like, nobody's going to actually die. And also, you know, I took the precaution of casting Death Ward on, you know, both of them. You know, basically, oh, hey, you dropped 0 HP, you actually dropped to 1. It's kind of a nice thing. Picked it up after, the fight with Ares, you know, where Aragon died. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the blow-by-blow of the fight, because I didn't pay... I wasn't paying as much attention, unfortunately, sorry. But, in the end, if I remember right, Brett won. Like, it was very close. Like, basically, just to, again, establish everything. You know, Goku's a paladin, you know, and Toby, Brett, is a barbarian. You know, I forget how many levels of bard and how many levels of barbarian, but we're, you know, all level 13, you know, all together. So, like, you know, pretty solid character. And, like, barbarians have some good stuff, especially when they are raging. You know, of course, there are also drawbacks to, oh, hey, you've used up, you know, all of your rages, you know, like exhaustion and a few other things. But basically, in the end, you know, Brett won because, you know, earlier on in the fight, David had gotten some, you know, lower rolls, unfortunately, on some of his attacks. And one of the powerful things that paladins have to, like, help with fighting, you know, are some of the smites. I don't know David's specific smites, but, you know, he did some good stuff, and he got Brett basically down to about 10 or 11 health. So, honestly, like, like, I don't know the average, you know, dice rolls for their attacks, but I would guess, like, you know, another standard attack at best of HP. Because, I mean, like, you know, that'd be like 2d6, you know, or something. Like, I could see him having taken care of that, potentially, if he'd gotten another turn, but, you know, didn't get to that point. You know, and, I got something, you know, from the sparring thing. Like, in retrospect, as me, Brad, the person, not Burgle, the character. But basically, you know, obviously sparring has some value, you know, in case there are, like, issues within the party, like, hey, you know, you took that loot, I want it, you know, you took that loot, I would like it, I don't care, combat, whatever. You know, just a bit of fun, if people, you know, still want to have a bit of combat with an actual legit challenge. You know, but, like, for me, Brad, but also, you know, I can send this knowledge to Burgle, you know, basically, you know, having seen them fight, you know, and we did it safely, and there was no worry of potentially killing each other, you know, I wouldn't mind, you know, having Burgle, like, step into, you know, the next fight thing and get to use some of his, you know, some of his magics, you know, because one of the things that I've stepped back from, you know, is casting as much in a lot of the fights. You know, because I have spells like Thunder Wave and Shatter, and there's another Thunder one, I forget. But basically, you know, all these attacks that, like, oh hey, they affect a certain area, and well, you got a barbarian and a paladin who have to be up close, with like their sword attacks or whatever or what have you, and I don't want to potentially burn them up, while I'm lighting up the bad guy. But like with this, like I could go like all in, like, okay, you guys want to mess around? Let's see how you like, Thunder Wave at. I think the highest spell slots I have are either 5 or 6. I'm not going to go that far up because I have certain spells like at the high end that I want to keep in reserve, like teleport. That's like a level 5 or 6, and I've only got like 1 or 2 slots. Mass Cure Wounds. Again, that's another level 5 or 6. So like, I'm not going to go that high up. Like I might go probably highest is 4, or 5 as we go forward. Depending on what spells I have and such, because I'm not really the healer of the group, but I do have some effective healing spells for, like, group stuff, in case, like, oh, hey, we run into, the Black King again, or something. But, but anyway, back to the character development, Burgle he's not relishing the idea of, beating the crap out of everybody else, or getting the crap kicked out of him himself, but, if he has these, if he has Thunder Wave and Shatter and, Thunderclap, but he's not able to use them, then what's the point? Like I've got those, like, I don't have targeting spells, like, L has Eldritch Blast, because Warlock, or Smites, like David the Paladin, it's, it's a bit of a, yeah, it's a bit crazy of a thing. So I wouldn't mind doing that. David, Brett, Connor, if you see this, I'm saying that, like next time you guys have a sparring thing, I'll bring it up, with my character logic that I just put out here, because, it makes sense. And also for reference, like in some of the fights, where I've, just attacked normally, I've got, I've got my sword attack that's like a 1d6. I've got my crossbow that's a 1d4 plus 1, I think. Plus like 2 radiant damage. But like, whenever the heck I could do 4d... I think it's 46 or 48, depending on the level. For like Thunderclap and Thunder Wave and Shatter. Like, yeah, it's a big difference. So, yeah, maybe we'll explore that in the next game. Maybe we won't. Maybe I'll just figure something out. Maybe I'll find some like actually targeting spell that I can use. I have been just picking stuff off of the D&D Beyond app. I believe, like, just setting up the free account and stuff like that. Like, yeah, you have like probably 90% of the stuff that you would normally have access to if like you actually had the player's handbook, which mine is. I forget where I put it, but then you can actually like get the different books on the D&D Beyond app. I've gotten a couple of the expansion books, like the one that brings up artificiers and stuff like that. I know for sure. But yeah, so maybe have handicapped my ability to like select figure stuff. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so that's basically it. In all, it was. Nice, another, bit of story development, a bit of fun, a bit of craziness. I mean, like, seriously, Charm Person to take over the bandit captain and then having him take on his dudes, and yeah, that was crazy and cool and interesting and honestly, like, legit. Brett, that was a cool answer to the problem. I liked it. Again, the sparring thing, made me think about stuff for my character, because, like, we're going up against the Black King and the remaining 2 horsemen of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Like, we can't really hold back. And, unfortunately, very probably, more people are going to get caught in the crossfire. So, like how war, is hell. Like, you gotta make some hard choices in the game. And, like, yeah. I have some thoughts, in case something happens to Burgle. I'm totally fine if it does. I'd rather it didn't, you know, because I like the character. He's good. He's obviously a reflection of me in some regard. You know, he's not the 100% true reflection. Like, that is Darb, my half orc bard character that I've written in a story that I'm working on DeviantArt, that I've got 6 or 7 chapters into, but that's another thing. And I'm not going to bring him into this campaign. You know, maybe when Regina runs her campaign, or I can just have Darb as a NPC if I ever get to run my campaign, which is set up a group on Facebook and all that stuff. And yeah, but I'm going to stop here because I've rambled for definitely more than 20 minutes, I would guess. So until next time, everyone, have fun, stay safe, keep hydrated, and of course, remember, every character has a story to tell. I'm Valiant Bradley James. I'm Burgle Badger Shepin. And yeah, this was the D&D Vlogs. Peace.